submit. Ayan, it's already recording. Good morning, grade 7. And your module 5 is about rational. Basically, rational and irrational numbers talaga siya. Or as what you can see, the square roots. Last number 1 talks about the real numbers or the family of the numbers. Pag sinabi natin yung family ng numbers, ganito siya. Meron po tayong iba't ibang uri ng numbers. We have the natural, the whole, the integers, the rational, the irrational, the real numbers, and we also have yung irrational na tinatawag dito. We also have what we call the complex. Okay, complex numbers. Ngayon, wait lang ha, connect ko lang. Ayan. Para pwede ako mag-annotate. Natural numbers, can you see it? Kung hindi niyo po nakakita, i-landscape niyo yung cellphone ninyo, ha? Para mas lumaki yung, yung nasa-share na screen. Okay? Ayan. The natural counting numbers, these are the numbers we usually use in counting things. Tayo, kung ano yung ginagamit natin simula, yung natutunan nyo simula nung bata pa kayo na numbers, that's from 1 up to whichever. Yun po, yung counting, natural or counting numbers, because we don't start counting from 0. We start counting from 1. So, yun po ang tinatawag nating natural or counting numbers. At sa natural and counting numbers, I'm not sure, pero ang sign po ng natural or counting numbers, para makita nyo siya kapag sa pagtanda ninyo, ulitin ko ha, sa pagtanda ninyo, ganito yung makikita nyo dyan. Wait lang ha, sulatan ko lang. Yan, dalawang line po talaga yan ha. Sige, erase ko ha. Aayusin ko po yung aking drawing. Madalas po, yan ay dalawang linya. Yan po yung itsura ng natural numbers. Letter N talaga yan, na may dalawang linya. Okay? Yan yung natural or the counting numbers. Well, the whole numbers, ito wala. Yung whole numbers, these are a combination of counting numbers and 0. So, dun sa counting numbers, if we start counting from 1, sa whole numbers, we start counting from 0. Yun lang yung difference niya. Okay? Next, we have the integers. Integers, yun yung una niyang naaral. Nung module number 2, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, module number 2 niya yata yung integers. And sa integers, these are the combination of whole and negative counting numbers. So, meron tayong 0, 1, 2, 3, and we also have the negative numbers. The numbers that are lower than 0, which are the negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and so on. Next are the rational numbers. Ito na. These are the numbers that can be expressed as a quotient A over B of two integers in which the denominator should not or will never be equal to 0. Okay? Ang denominator hindi po pwedeng mag-equal ng 0. Kasi parang sinabi ko rin yan last time, paano ka mag-divide ng something kung wala ka namang kailangan i-divide? Meron kang pie, meron kang pizza, i-divide mo siya sa 0. Kailangan mo pa ba siyang i-divide? Diba? Hindi na. That's why, hindi po siya pwede maging 0. Hindi pwede maging 0 ang denominator. Okay? Hindi pa po ako makalapag-zoom po. Makapag-zoom, hinihiram po ng baby ko namin po yung CV. Tapos po, okay lang yun, miss. Recorded naman to, so pwede mong panoorin next time. Okay? And irrational numbers, so rational numbers, fractions, and repeating or terminating decimals are included in identifying a rational number. So, ibig sabihin, any kind of fraction, and kapag rational numbers, repeating and terminating siya. Okay? Or terminating. Kunyari, 0.6666 hanggang dulo, yun po ay rational number. While, eto na, the irrational numbers, these are numbers that cannot be expressed as a quotient of A over B of two integers. And every irrational number may be represented by a decimal that neither repeats nor terminates. Hindi natin ma-assure kung siya ba ay isang decimal, okay? Pero hindi natin ma-assure kung siya ba ay repeating or terminating or neither. Pwedeng hindi siya kasama doon. And the last one is the real numbers. Ang real numbers po ay combination ng rational at irrational. And also, sa amin kasi, ang turo, ang real numbers po ay yung any numbers. Lahat yan. Natural, counting, whole, integers, rational, and irrational. Nasa family siya ng real numbers. So, magkakaroon kayo ng family tree ng real numbers. Under ng real numbers, lahat ng yan. Lahat ng to. Okay? Except for one. That is the imaginary. Okay? Kaya nga real, ibig sabihin totoo. So, kapag may nakuha kayong imaginary na answer, that means hindi siya real number. Pwede siyang under ng complex numbers. So, identify which of the following are rational numbers. Is 1/4 rational? Yes or no? Ano ulit kapag rational? Kapag rational, fractions daw. Or, and repeating or terminating decimals. So, is 1/4. Dito lang tayo sa example, ha? Itong 1/4 na to, rational ba to? Yes or no? Chat kayo.
Yes.
Chat po. Chat kayo kasi titingnan ko lahat ng sagot ninyo. Kaya mag-chat kayo dyan. Hintayin ko hanggang ma-flood yung ating chat box. Yes, yes, yes. Puro yes. Sino pa? Yes, yes. Puro yes, yes. Okay. Ang sabi nyo ay yes daw, yes, yes, yes. Walang heck no. Very good. It is rational simply because it is in fraction form. Okay? Next, 1/9. Is 1/9 an irrational or is it an irrational? Tatingin ko. Chat kayo. Yes. Number 2. Yes. Yes. Puro yes. Rational. Yes. Very good. Next is 5/11. Rational or not? Tingin ko. Rational pa rin. Rational pa rin daw. .75. Is it rational or irrational? Ayan. Tingnan natin paano magiging sagot nyo dito. No daw, sabi ni Miguel. No din daw, sabi ni Anka. No din daw, sabi ni Brent. Irrational daw, irrational. Bakit siya naging irrational? Ha? Explain nyo. Bakit siya naging irrational sa paningin ninyo? Ha? Ano? Sige, ganito. Ayan. Titingnan ko kayo, ha? Like kayo kung gusto niyo sumagot. Bakit siya naging irrational? Like kayo. Titingnan ko kayo. Kung sino gusto sumagot, bakit siya naging irrational? Walang magla-like? Walang magla-like? Walang magla-like? Palike ako kung gusto niyo sumagot para marinig ko rin kayo. Ano daw? Walang magla-like? O sige, nag-chat lang. Tingnan ko nga yung chat ninyo. Kasi siya po ay decimal form, kabado. Because it has 0. And naguluhan po ako, natandaan ko po yung pi. Okay. Yung pi is 3.1416 and so on. Okay. So technically, pi is never ending. At kung never ending si pi, at sabi dito sa irrational, it should be represented by a decimal that neither repeats nor terminates Ibig sabihin, pi is an irrational number. Yes. Okay? Pero itong 0.75, is it a terminating or non-terminating? Pakinggan ko kayo ulit. Is 0.75 a terminating or non-terminating? Ano ba kapag terminating? Ano ba kapag terminating? Non-terminating daw. Sabi naman ni Alikin, terminating. Ano ba kapag terminating at non-terminating? Ayan. Paliwanag nyo. Anong difference ng terminating at non-terminating?
Yung terminating po, medyo mga infinite mga ganun.
Okay, sabi niya.
Terminating, may limit.
Okay. Pag terminating, ayan, sabi ni Brent, kapag terminating daw, infinite. Okay? Kapag non-terminating, ano siya? Pag non-terminating, hindi siya infinite. Okay? Wala siyang dulo. Okay. Ito ang description ng terminating decimal. A decimal numeral in which after a finite number of decimal places, all succeeding place values are zero. Katulad ng 1/8. Ang 1/8 ay 0.125. Since 0.125 siya, naka-fix siya sa 0.125, terminating siya. Okay? Terminating siya. Okay? At kung terminating siya, katulad ng 0.75 na terminating, siya ba ay rational or irrational? Andyan na tayo. Siya ba ay rational or irrational? Rational! Nagbago na. Rational na daw. Hindi daw maka-join. Wait lang ha. Wait lang. Meron bang pumapasok? Wait lang ha. Stop share ka lang saglit. Wait. Wait lang ha. Hindi. Akala ko may pumapasok. Balik tayo. Okay. So, ano nang sagot ninyo? Nagbago na bang sagot ninyo? Rational na siya. Rational na siya kasi kung titingnan ninyo, ang sabi sa rational numbers, fractions and repeating or terminating decimals. Kaya po siya ay rational number. Okay? Okay tayo doon? Kasi po kapag non-terminating, a decimal numeral that does not end in an infinite sequence. -6. Is this rational? Is this rational? Yes or no? -6. Is this rational or not? Yes or no? Sabi ni Kirby, yes. Ay, sabi ni Kirby, opo. Sabi ni Brent, yes. Sabi ni Alikin, yes. Sabi ni Dwayne, rational daw. Sabi ni Raymond, yes. Sabi ni Kirby, yes ulit. Yung iba, 9 kayo dyan. Yung iba, si Junel, yes daw. Si Angka, yes daw. Bakit siya naging Bakit siya naging rational? Kasi, basically, kapag meron kang integer, ang denominator nito ay ano? Anong denominator ng integer? Ang denominator po ng integer or ng whole number, technically, ay negative or siya ay naka-over sa yan. Siya po ay naka-over sa bakit hindi ako makasulat? Wait ha, taas ko lang. Yan. Kaya po siya ay rational number. Pwede siyang rational number. Okay? Paano itong square root of 3? Sabi ko sa inyo, dapat may calculator kayo dyan. What is the square root of 3? Get the square root of 3. Kung meron kayong cellphone na may calculator, cellphone lang meron yan sa normal na calculator ng cellphone. Yung normal lang, meron yan. Sana meron kayong ano. O yung normal lang, meron yan. Teka. Hindi ko alam kung nakikita niyo ako. Ayan. Yung normal na calculator po, meron yan. Skip nyo lang, hanapin nyo lang kung saan. Meron po dyang square root. Ito. Teka, haayusin ko yung video para nakikita nyo ng malinaw. Video settings, mirror my video. Ayan. Ayun yung square root, yung parang letter, yung parang check. So if you put the square root of 3, your answer is 1.732050807568. Kung yan yung answer mo, is it a rational or an irrational number? Chat kayo.
Rational.
Chat kayo. Is it rational or irrational? Okay. Yung iba sabi rational. Yung iba rational daw. Sabi ni Brent, irrational na. Ma'am, lobat. Phone ko. Lobat. Okay, Anton. Rational. Rational pa rin daw. Bakit rational? Sabi nila rational. Bakit rational? Explain nyo. Bakit naging rational? Tingnan ko nga. Stay with rational. Rational, di ko po alam. Ayan, ipapaliwanag natin ngayon isa-isa. Sabi dito, wait, akala ko nag-clear na yung drawing ko. Isin ko lang ha, wait lang. I-clear ko lang yung drawing ko. Okay. 1/4, if we will equate it to, or if we will convert it into decimal, it is 0.25. And 0.25 terminates. That's why it is rational number. 1/9, repeating siya. Since repeating siya indefinitely, siya ay also a rational number. Yan natin to ha. Ganun din sa 5/11, since 0.45 repeats, at tatandaan natin kapag rational number, it should be repeating. And 0.75, since it is terminating kasi hindi siya infinite, siya ay also rational. The -6, all integers are rational numbers since they can be written as a form with 1 as the denominator, or yung pinakita ko sa inyo kanina. Ngayon, square root of 3 is not a rational number since its decimal representation neither terminates nor repeats. Ito lang, kung nakikita nyo to, ito lang yung enough na makukuha nyo sa calculator. Pero basically, may mga karugtong pa siya kung isa-solve mo talaga all throughout. Pero kung mapapansin nyo, all the numbers doesn't repeat. Hindi siya katulad ng 0.4545, ng 0.111, 0.333. Kaya po siya ay isang irrational number. And ito po ang tatandaan ninyo. Isang technique para malaman nyo kung ang number ay rational or irrational. Kapag naka-square root siya, at yung nakuha nyo ay hindi whole number, your answer is, hindi whole na fixed number, yun po ay irrational. Because the answers most likely is not a terminating number or it doesn't repeat. Naintindihan? Ulitin ko. Kapag irrational, lagi niyo titingnan una kung naka-square root ba siya. Itong isang technique lang doon, kung naka-square root. Ngayon, kung naka-square root siya, at kukunin niyo na yung square root niya, kapag hindi whole number ang lumabas, siya po ay isang irrational number. Example, bigyan ko kayo ng isang example ha. Itong activity, you just have to state whether it is rational or irrational. Kunin niyo square root ng 49. Paki-chat, anong sagot? Square root ng 49. Kung may calculator kayo, sana may calculator kayong katabi. Square root of 49 is 7. Sabi ni Alikin ay 7 din. Sabi ni Beth ay 7. Correct. Kung 7 siya, is square root of 49 rational or irrational? Kasi whole number to. Whole number yung nakuha ninyo. So is 40 square root of 49 rational or irrational? Rational, rational, rational. Who else? Apat lang to nagsabi. Yung iba, rational. Okay. So ulitin natin ha, kapag naka-whole number yung makukuha nyo sagot sa square root, siya po ay isang rational number. So tama kayo, square root of 49 is a rational number. Paano tong square root of 19? What is the square root of 19? Chat nyo ulit dyan kung ano yung makukuha nyo. What is the square root of 19? Chat kayo. Type nyo, what is the square root of 19? (4.358898944). Now, ayan, chinat ni Miguel kung ano yung square root na bakit magkaiba kayo ng sagot. Ano nangyari? Magkaiba kayo sa dulo. Tingnan ko ha. Wait, ako na kukuha ng square root. Square root of 19 is equal to 43588898944. Okay? Calculator po, Kirby. We use the calculator. Kung may calculator ka dyan sa bahay and we're running out of time. Ayan. So, is it rational or irrational based dyan sa nakuha nyo? The square root is 4.358898944. Ayan. 4.358898944. So, is it irrational or not? Tingnan ko nga. Irrational, irrational, irrational. Very good. Irrational. Okay. Kirby, meron dyang parang check na sign dun sa calculator. Kung makikita mo yung parang check na sign dun sa calculator, yun po yung square root. Okay? Next. Okay na tayo sa iba ha. Ang itatry kong tanongin sa inyo, itong number 4. Is number 4 a rational or an irrational number? Number 4, chat kayo. Is it R or IR? Is it rational or irrational? Number 4. Number 4, rational or irrational? Rational, rational? Irrational, rational, rational, rational. Sure kayo? Rational? Tingnan niyo mabuti. Tingnan niyo mabuti. Is this terminating? Is this repeating? Yes or no? Itong number 4. Is this repeating? Yes or no? Is number 4 repeating? Yes or no? Number 4 is not repeating, diba? Now, is it terminating or not? It is basically non-terminating. At kung siya ay neither terminating nor repeating, it is irrational number. Okay? Titingnan nyo lang maigi doon. Titingnan nyo lang kung ito ba ay terminating. Pag hindi, titingnan nyo naman kasunod kung siya ba ay terminating. Kung hindi rin, edi siya ay irrational number. Yung number 9. Terminating or non-terminating? Number 9. I mean, hindi pala terminating or non-terminating. Irrational or rational? Yung number 1 po nun, terminating din po. Alin? Ito? Irrational yung number 9. IR, sabi ni Miguel. Okay, Brent, sabi ni Brent irrational, sabi ni Miguel irrational din. Yung iba. Alikin, irrational din daw. Junel, irrational din. Sabi ni Dwayne, no. Sabi ni Angka, irrational. Raymond, irrational din. Okay. 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 So, technically, number 9 is an irrational number. Very good. Gets na kung paano? Naintindihan na kung paano? Para malaman mo nyo kung irrational siya, you have to look if it's terminating and if it's repeating. If it's neither or if it's not, adi siya ay, sige ganito, para mas madali. Kapag siya ay non-terminating, non-repeating, siya ay irrational. Para mas madaling maintindihan. Okay? Admit. Wala ko nag-a-admit na kanina si Frinzel. Next na tayo. We only have 5 minutes left. Click the same link na lang after, ha? Okay. Last number 2. Ito na, square root na tayo. The expression square root 64 is called a radical expression, and this symbol is called the radical sign. Okay? Ito yung sinasabi ko, Kirby, yung tinatanong mo kanina kung paano kukunin. Kung may calculator ka dyan nakatabi, ito po yung itsura. I-click mo lang to, and then, pagka-click mo niyan, tatype mo yung number na kailangan mong kunin yung square root, and then that's good to go. Ngayon, ito na. The expression under the radical sign is called the radicand. This is the radical sign. The number, or the 64, is the radicand. And how you read it? And you read it as the square root of 64. For this one, you have the negative square root of 64. So, kung kunin mo muna yung square root of 64, saka mo kukunin yung sign niya, or saka mo i-apply yung sign niya. And a number has 2 square roots, one positive and the other is negative. Bakit nga ba ganon? And the non-negative square root is called the principal square root. So, tatanungin nyo kung bakit kailangan isang positive at isang negative? Ganito po siya. Ayan. Meron tayong square root of 64. Hindi ko na itatype yung square root, ha? Ngayon, iisip kayo ng number na kapag minultiply mo sa isa't isa, ang sagot ay 64. Isip kayo ng number na kapag minultiply nyo sa isa't isa, ang sagot ay 64. Chat nyo dyan. Number na kapag minultiply sa isa't isa, ang sagot ay 64. Iisang number lang. 8. Very good. So, 8, we have positive 8 times positive 8. Ang sagot natin ay 64. Tama? Pag negative 8 times, hindi ko pala nalagyan ng times. Dahil ayoko kayo masanay ng may times. Alisin na natin siya. Para hindi kayo nalilito. At saka, ayan. Anong sagot dyan? Negative 8 times negative 8. Anong sagot? Negative 64? 64? 64? 64 daw. Agree ba kayo sa 64? 64, no, negative. Tama. So, tatandaan nyo, sa multiplication of integers, if they have the same sign, your answer will always be a positive answer. Ulitin ko. Sa multiplication, saan po? Okay. Sa multiplication po of integers, if they have the same sign, the answer is always positive. So positive 8 times positive 8 is 64, and negative 8 times negative 8 is still 64. Kaya ang square root dyan, ang square root po ng 64 or ng square root ng 64 ay positive and negative 8. Pero pag isusulat po siya, dapat ganito siya isusulat. Wait lang ha. Dapat ganito siya isusulat. Positive negative 8. Ganyan siya dapat isusulat. Okay? Bakit hindi lumabas? Ulitin ko ha. Ayan, nakakasulat na ako ulit. Dapat positive. Sige, sabi ko nga, dito ko na lang isusulat. Positive, negative 8. Ganyan siya dapat sinusulat kapag kumukuha ka ng square root. And sabi dyan, the non-negative square root is called the principal square root. Ano ba yung non-negative? Hindi yung positive. So yung positive 8, yun daw ang iyong principal square root. And we only have less than 1 minute, probably seconds. Pag nag-end to, click the same link. Okay? Again, pag nag-end, please click the same link. Clear ko na? Ito lang yung ginawa natin.